Joining in. Oh, I guess we are live on YouTube. Let me just double check this. Hey, you guys. Are you guys still up? It's like, what time is it? 10:25 a.m. where I'm at. So Eastern, I know it's about like 11:25. So we're going to see if anybody's up today. But either way, y'all can catch the replay on YouTube. So that's a good thing. If you guys are just joining me here, you can catch me over on my YT channel. Okay. Hey guys, I'm just gonna give people some time to chime in. Hey y'all. Hey guys. Welcome, welcome. All right, I'm just gonna jump in to the video. It's been a while since I have been live. Hey you guys, if you're joining in, say hi, hello. Y'all, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm also on TikTok, but I'm probably going to be getting off of TikTok, so you guys join me live on my YT channel, okay? It's the same name, Shy Bivia. Hey, you guys, are you guys up? Let me know in the chat, okay? Let me know in the chat if you guys are up over on YouTube. I'm so excited. It's been a while since I've been live. Well, maybe a couple weeks or so, right? So if you are joining in, y'all, drop a hey, hello in the chat where you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in over on YouTube, let me see if my people, oh, some people are joining me over on TikTok as well. Justice. Hey guys, if you want to hear more about what I'm talking about today, I'm talking about how you can use business credit to grow your business and buy back your time. Okay, how to use business credit to grow your business and buy back your time. So that's what we're talking about today. Your best bet is probably to catch me over on YouTube. Hey you guys, hey, y'all. It's hot outside, so if you see me sweating, it's actually not so bad today. It's not too bad today. It's like, I don't know, 80 something degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. 80 something degrees, something like that. Hey you guys, hey. Um, yeah, so let's talk about business credit, y'all, and how you can use business credit to buy your time back. Um, all right, anybody in the chat? Hey, hello. Where you guys at? Where you guys at? Um, okay. So, if you're new here, by the way, if you're new here, I'm Shy Bivia, and I'm a business funding strategist. I help entrepreneurs build business credit and be positioned for five-figure funding, five-figure and beyond, right? So that they can buy their time back. Okay. I'm also the co-founder of a business loan brokerage where we help small and medium-sized businesses acquire funding for their business. And so I want to talk about how like you can use business credit to grow your business and the importance of business credit, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, hey y'all, I feel like a lot of people uh, don't, especially entrepreneurs, right? I want to talk about what a lot of entrepreneurs aren't being taught about business credit, right? So business credit is not necessarily, don't look at it as just like a trap or as like debt per se, right? But look at business credit as a tool. Look at it as a tool, right, to grow your business and take your business further faster. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Darlene. Hey, y'all. Hey. Look at it as a tool to grow your business further faster. So, for me personally, let me just share my personal story, right? Especially in the like growing stages of my businesses, how I used it or I leveraged it to grow my business further faster. So, some of you guys know in 2021 or so, I started like my Airbnb business. I had a couple of other things, right? Like a lot of people, if you are an entrepreneur at heart, you're gonna find yourself like dabbling into multiple things, until you basically figure out what works for you, right? If you guys see me here, it's because I'm on my laptop. I don't know if you guys can see it. But um, let me turn it a little bit like this. So, okay, there you guys can see that I'm on something. If you're an entrepreneur at heart, you will find yourself like dabbling in different things to see what works. But anyway, in 2021, I started my short-term rental business. It was kind of by accident, right? I just kind of wanted to make some extra money. I had a home at that time. You can also do it without owning property. I have a book on that, by the way. You can check it out in my bio. It has helped a lot of people, start their short-term rental journey, right? I've coached clients on this, stuff like that. So feel free to get it, right? It's gonna help you out a lot. Okay. I have a lot of like gems in there that will help you automate the process, simplify your process, and uh, hire the right people, implement the right tools, right, without the overwhelm, without being stressed, without being broke. And so, anyway, or draining your bank account, I should say. So in 2021, before that, I kind of started my short-term rental business, but it was by accident. I just wanted some extra money, and I used a spare room, literally a spare mattress. Okay, so my journey was not a picture perfect journey. So I want people to know that and understand that, right? It was not a picture perfect journey. It looked like a girl. How old was I? I bought my first house when I was 23, and it looked like a girl, you know, just working a regular job and wanted to make some extra money. So I was like, and the lighting on here on my YouTube is not the best, y'all, because I'm outside, the sun is behind me, all those things. Anyway, wanted to make some extra money. I'm like, I heard about this Airbnb thing, and at the time I thought that it was only for like people who own property, right? Thought it was for people who own property. And so I was like, okay, I have this spare room, so let me do it. And so put it on Airbnb, spare mattress. To my surprise, people were booking it, y'all. People were booking the Airbnb with a queen size mattress, okay? And I explicitly put it in my description that, hey, you are booking, you're gonna be sleeping on a queen a queen ear mattress, okay? Anyway, people booked it. I got 5-star reviews, all of that, to the point where I eventually turned that entire property into a full, Airbnb property. And then we eventually like moved to Texas and all of that, and we were able to kind of like grow the Airbnb business. But how business credit helped us with that Airbnb business. Hey y'all, if you're joining in on YouTube, I saw some people just chime in over on YouTube. Drop a hey in the chat. I don't know if I have my chat open, I think. Yeah. Yeah, drop a hey in the chat. Let me know where you're joining in from. And so, uh, how business credit helped. We didn't initially use business credit initially. We used like a lot of our personal money to like buy like, decor stuff and things for the Airbnb, all of those things that you need. And then eventually, once I figured out this, business credit thing. Before that, I was in the financial industry, right? So I was back office, consumer lending, all of those things, but was not heavy in business lending, right? And so when I figured out the whole business credit thing, then we started to apply and utilize business credit. For example, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the T. For example, we use like store business credit cards, EIN only, employer identification number only, meaning this is separate from your social security. Hey, Kanisha. Hi, you are from Florida. Hey, girl. Hey, hey. And so we were able to leverage and use business, business only or EIN only store cards. Store cards. Stores that allowed us to purchase stuff like linen, toiletries. You have a short-term rental business. You think about it in, as the, hospitality industry. When you go to a short-term rental, what do you expect? You expect laundry detergent, soap, so you can wash your hands, linens, all those things. So we were able to use business credits to buy those things. And that was okay. Why? Because we're gonna make the money back. As a matter of fact, we once we went live in 24 hours, we started being booked out. Or short-term rentals were always like over 70% booked out. It was always booked out, right? Because of or marketing and stuff like that. Simply on Airbnb too. But that's another topic for the that's for a whole nother topic. And so we were able to leverage store cards to get like linens and stuff like that versus using our money up front. And then when we got paid from Airbnb, we made profit, we were able to put it back and pay it off. So that's why I'm saying use business credit as a tool, or think of it as a tool and not a trap. Leverage business credit as a tool and not a trap, okay? You have to have a plan, obviously. If you're gonna I like to tell people this: if you're gonna use business credit, hey guys, hey Kay, hey Shadia, hey you guys that are joining in on TikTok. I'm also on YouTube, but hey y'all, hey. It's probably best to join me over on YouTube if you want. If you want, I'll probably stay on here for a while. Okay. Hey Kay, dot B, hey girl, hey. So you want to leverage business credit as a tool, or look at it as a tool and not a trap. I'm going to go into some other ways that you can leverage business credit and why it's so important, right? So, the reason why business credit is so important is because, especially if you are serious about growing a business, if you are serious about growing a business, maybe it's not so, maybe it's not worth it. If you're just maybe a freelancer or you just want to do business part time, whenever you feel like it, whichever. But if you're serious about growing an actual business, business credit is the foundation for thriving businesses, growing businesses, right? When you look at major corporations out there, they're not solely operating from just the cash flow from their business, right? They're not like I won't really mention certain corporations out there because there's some like, what's going on? I can't say certain words because everything is like censored these days, but the coding and stuff like that that's going on right now. So I don't want to like mention companies out there that like, girl, we're not trying to shop there right now, right? So if you think about the major corporations out there, a lot of them aren't using just the cash flow from their business. They're leveraging credit, they're leveraging vendor accounts, they're leveraging credit cards and all of that. So I'm going to give you an example, right? If you guys are ready for some examples, drop it in the chat. Um, hey y'all. So for example, right? So, for example, let's say you have a business, maybe you're a consultant, maybe whichever, a photographer, maybe you are, oh, let me use that example as a photographer, because a lot of times people think that business credit may be limited or make sense for only certain industries. It makes sense for every single industry. It doesn't matter what business you are in, it doesn't matter what industry you are in, you too can leverage business credit. So for example, let's say you are a photographer, right? And you want to up your photography game. You want to, hey, thanks for the follow. Infinite Soul, love that name. Let's say you want to up your photography game and you need to buy some additional equipment for your photography business. Okay. So again, business credit is not for only certain industries. Business credit, number one, it's also going to allow you to unlock funding for your business with better terms. Okay. And get more favorable rates and stuff like that and increase your chances of approval. It can do that. I'm going to share different ways that you can acquire funding, but that's one way, by leveraging business credit, right? And when you do that, when you're able to unlock funding for your business and build that business credit, then what does that mean? That means you're able to take your business further faster because you're able to now implement the resources that you need to grow your business, whether that's for more marketing to attract more clients, customers, whether that's to hire help, an assistant, even a freelancer. Maybe you need somebody to do a web design for you. Maybe like the little things, like maybe you need somebody to I don't know, help you with your marketing or whichever, right? Or somebody to help you pack. Maybe you have a brick and mortar type of business where you're selling actual like physical products maybe, and you need somebody to help you pack. Girl, building business credit is going to allow you and help you to unlock funding so that you can buy your time back. And that's the message here. Build business credit, unlock funding, and buy your time back. So that's why, you know, business credit is so important in any industry. So as I was talking about the photography business, right? Let's say you have a photography business, and instead of using your personal resources, instead of using your personal credit card, your personal savings to go out there and buy that equipment, what you can do instead is use that business credit. Hear me out on this, y'all, okay? Especially for you entrepreneurs out there, small business owners out there. You're going to use that business credit to purchase that equipment, and my brain goes like 1,000 miles per hour, so bear with me, y'all. In a year from now, when it's time to do taxes, let me just throw that out there before I forget. In a year from now, when it's time to do taxes and stuff like that, it's going to be easier to track all your business expenses, because you're not only tracking business expenses from your actual checking account, business checking account. Another thing that's very important. You're not just tracking these expenses from your business checking account, you're tracking these expenses as well from your business credit card. So it's going to be so easy for your bookkeeper, your CPA, yourself, if you're doing it yourself, whichever, okay, to track. And in addition to that, the benefits of those, write-offs, tax write-offs, use leveraging your business credit. Also, you didn't have to use your personal account, right, to start, or personal savings. Maybe you have some personal savings, you'd rather not use it, and maybe you don't have anything in your savings. With business credit, it allows you to, as that photographer, right? I'm giving the example as a photographer. You're going to be able to get those equipment for your business and up your game, okay? Because the goal here is to have better equipment, better quality equipment. You can charge more, you can offer more services, and then there you go, boom, you just grew your business, okay, with the help of business credit, okay? In addition to that, as a photographer, let's say you wanted to travel for an extended time, right? Y'all know that I love the freedom and flexibility of traveling and moving around and having flexibility, right? Let's say you are a photographer, you can use business credits, okay, to unlock funding and buy your time back, because you can then hire and outsource maybe an independent contractor, a photographer, right? I think a lot of times some people in the service industry miss this. Um, and I know how that is, like being a service provider. You feel like you have to be the one to provide the service. But as you grow your business, you're probably going to want to start thinking different routes, right? So you can either go into the mode of consulting, teaching people how to do what you do, but you can also hire. So you can hire like an independent contractor to and the beautiful thing with hiring independent contractors, to you guys, is that you don't necessarily always have to like really pay an independent contractor upfront. It's different than having a W-2 employee. You can basically give that contractor a portion of what you charge your client, whatever type of service provider you are. Maybe you do hair, nails, maybe you mow lawns, whichever, you can do that. But business credit can allow you, give you the resources upfront to help you do that. So, is that clear, y'all? Let me know in the chat. And for those of you who are joining me new here on YouTube, let me know where you are joining in from. And also feel free to drop those questions in there. So is that clear, y'all? So that's how you can use business credit um, to, hold on, I got an important message up here. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Yeah. So again, business credit is going to allow you to provide access. It's going to provide access to capital, improve your cash flow, build credibility with lenders and suppliers, y'all, so that you can have better rates. Okay. So again, also the benefit is you want to separate your personal and your business finances. You want to qualify for better financing terms, and all that to grow your business, right? So let me give an example of, hey guys, hey next chapter, hey y'all. Okay, let me come back over here. Hey, okay. C Dub, hey, from the Bay Area. Oh, you know what? I did not even put these on my screen. Kenisha from earlier. And then we have C Dub from the Bay Area. Hey. Okay. All right, cool. Awesome. All right. So let me give the example of government contracting, right? So yesterday, I was talking about government contracting on my stories because I got the notification from sam.gov. If you guys know anything about sam.gov, that's a place that you can go to apply for one, federal funding, federal grants, and also win government contracts. Meaning, you guys, do you know that the federal government right now, the you know that government right now, they award a total of about 500 billion contracts per year, and about 23% of that goes to, it is earmarked for small business owners. Small business owners like you and I, okay? 23% of that money. What does that mean? That means if you go to sam.gov right now, the government is looking for contracts for and every and anything. They're looking for contracts for cheers, okay? Can you get us they don't want to do it themselves. They don't want to find the sources. They don't want to get the best deal themselves. They just want to create something to say, hey, somebody do it for us. Go get us 100 chairs for this military base or this place or wherever, right? Find the best deal for us. And the person that comes back with the best like quote, whichever that suits all of these, that match our, was it statement of work, something like that. You can get the contract, and they're awarding it to specifically small businesses, right? The reason why I say that and I gave that analogy is because business credit can allow you to better position yourself to win certain contracts, to win certain government contracts. So yesterday I was sharing on my story that it was time to renew my, you have to renew your registration with sam.gov every year, right? And again, that's a portal that you go to apply for government contracts, apply for federal grants, stuff like that for your business, okay? So whole process, you have to get your codes and stuff like that. But once you get it, right? And so yesterday I was renewing it and I was sharing on my stories that it's time to renew it. And I was giving an example of how you can use business credit to win and position yourself for contracts. So for example, the government says, um, hey, we need 100 chairs. Okay. You put that bid in, whichever, you win the bid, right? Of course, you're not going to buy the chairs before you win the bid. You get the bid. And they say, okay, great, we want to award this to you. Okay. Those 100 chairs wholesale, let's say, I don't know, the total is going to be like $5,000 for the 100 chairs total. Okay. You can either use the $5,000 from your personal credit card. You can use the $5,000 from money that you have sitting in your bank account. I mean, they're going to pay you back eventually, but you're going to have to get it first. And then they're going to pay you on like a 30-day or 60-day, whichever, after that. So you can either use your own money or you can use other people's money. You can leverage other people's money to get these 5,000 shares until the government pay you back. Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to use your own money, or would you prefer to use other people's money until the government pays you back, or until your client pays you back, or whosoever pays you back? Most people, I'm sure, would choose the latter, right? You would prefer to use other people's money. And so that's how where business credit comes in. So business credit, again, not just credit, but business credit and funding. Hey y'all, hey Martha, hey, is going to allow you and help you to unlock that funding that you need, right, to grow your business so that you can buy your time back. Okay. So those are some of the ways that you can use business credit. I mean, there are different types of funding options out there. There's so many different funding options out there. Business credit is like, so business credit can be looked at in a couple different ways. When I talk about business credit, I'm talking about like credit lines mostly. So I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, let me just break it down a little bit. Business credit, I'm talking about for one, credit lines. I'm also talking about building that business credit profile across the board positively, positive trade lines. So, for example, um, when you think about credit, right, your credit profile, you think about your personal credit. Think about business credit somewhat similar, but it's on the business side. It's separate from your personal stuff. Business credit allows you to separate your personal liabilities from the business. Okay, so think of it like that. Business credit, or having a solid or a healthy business credit profile across the board, looks like having positive scores across like the major business credit bureaus. Okay, across all the major business credit bureaus, not bureaus, but business credit reporting agencies. Let's say that. Okay, just like on the personal side, you have personal credit reporting agencies. On the business side, you have business credit reporting agencies. Okay, and when you want to think about business credit, the long haul, right? It's not like a quick fix solution kind of thing. It's like, what's the long game here, right? You want to build a solid, healthy uh, profile or profiles across the board so that you look attractive to lenders and creditors, and it's an easy yes, and so that you don't always have to leverage your personal credit. Now I can get really deep into this, but again, there are different ways to acquire funding. You can hyper leverage your personal credit, yes, in order to be qualified for certain business funding, business loans, and then you can also leverage business credit. When you have built a healthy business credit profile for an extended period of time, and lenders and creditors can see that, oh, this person or this business, they've been paying their stuff on time, they have all of these different types of business loans out there. They don't have the perfect score, they don't have the perfect credit score, but we're going to work with them. We're going to work with them, okay? And you guys, I know this from experience, because from both ends, from someone who, from both perspective, I should say, from someone who, is a co-founder of a business brokerage, and also like I've worked in the financial industry, um, more consumer lending, not business lending, but also from the perspective of someone who is a small business owner, an entrepreneur, and I have also used business credit and taken out business loans in order to grow my business, okay? And what these lenders look for, there are some lenders specifically who are going to look at your business profile, and if you don't have the perfect credit score, that's okay. That's okay too, because you know what? Your business shows a certain, financial strength. Even if your business is not making like a ton of money, you can use business credit as kind of like a um, kind of like proof that, hey, I pay my stuff back and I'm trustworthy. You can trust me. So that's why um, CW is saying personal credit scores. Yep, personal credit scores range from to 850. Business credit score index scores go up to 100. So 80 is a good business score. Yeah, absolutely. Um, but here's the thing about this too, though, CW. That's a great thing to point out. However, that's really just for your done score. So with business credit, there are like three major. There are a few other reporting agencies, but there are different types of business scores and not just the Paydex score. So you have Experian Business, you have Equifax Business as well as Paydex, which is from Dun& Bradstreet. You have some other ones, but and then you also have scores that the Small Business Financial Exchange looks at And those are kind of like a accumulation of like scores, right? And so that's good to point out. And so that's why it's so important to have positive scores, right? It's good to have positive scores across the board from all the major business credit bureaus, okay? And so, that's one of the things that I help my clients do, have it all across the board. So that way you are better positioned for that five figure funding and beyond. Okay. Again, sure, you can super leverage your personal credit score to get certain business, to get approved for certain business lines that will eventually be reported. It depends on like the lenders and the program and stuff like that, that will eventually be reported on your business report. But then you can also use business credit in its entirety instead of like personally guaranteeing. So there are programs out there that is literally going to just pull your EIN, and it's going to be reported on your business credit profile, right? Credit lines, credit cards, vendor accounts, so that you can build it for the long haul, y'all. Because business credit is not like a, don't look at it as, okay, a fast track thing. Okay, I can show you how to build business credit in 90 days. Like I've done it with my clients. Like if you see my stuff, like my reviews, I've worked with clients and I've helped them build their business credit profiles across the board, like positive scores, right? Um, in like 90 days, but 90 days, 100 days. It depends on how fast you're doing things and boom, boom, boom. But that's for another thing. But very fast, right? That's one thing. But you guys, I want you to focus on the longevity of things. Okay. My battery's about to die. OMG. I'm probably gonna have to go inside now and charge this thing. Because I don't have my thing plugged up here. Or I'm gonna have to, let me see. Maybe I can plug it up here. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. Okay? I'll be right back. Let me see. I'll be back. See, I'm sweating too. All right. Hold on, you guys. Okay, we're back. Oh, I just had to refresh my page because my battery is dying. I'm happy that I found that plug. Anyway, thanks, Ashley. Hey, girl, but I'm about to sweat. That's why. When I'm out here in these Bangkok streets, y'all, I don't even bother to put on makeup because it's pointless at that point. It's pointless. By the time you step outside, I mean, you're you're sweating. But it's okay. I've been embracing my natural beauty for the most part since being here. So I'm always embracing my natural beauty. Anyway, back to what I was talking about, y'all. If you're just joining here, you said natural glow is beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're just joining, I'm talking about how you can use business credit to grow your business, unlock funding, so that you can buy back your time. Buy back your time, okay? And if you're new here and you've probably never seen me before, I'm Sharvivia. I'm a mom to the sweetest baby boy. I'm a wife and a lover of travel. Greetings, Mahalia. Hey, girl. Hey, a lover of travel. Love to travel the world. And my family and I are currently abroad, living abroad, and our base or hub is Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. And yeah, quick backstory about me if you guys care. Former flight attendant, but before that, I worked in the financial industry. I worked closely with like underwriters. Consumer lending is what I did. I did back office loan processing as well, loan closings, stuff like that. I was also a teller as well at one point, a bank teller. And yeah, now I coach and help entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, launch their businesses, launch credible businesses, and build business credit so that and be better positioned for five-figure funding and beyond. So that's like the core of my business. Like a lot of entrepreneurs, we do a lot of different things. Have this, have a book there, have this, that. But like the core of my business is helping women position their business for five-figure funding and building business credit, right? And now I'm a co-founder of a business loan brokerage where we help small and mid-sized businesses we help them with funding solutions, business funding solutions for their business so that they can grow their business and buy back their time. I'm all about buying back your time. So if you are new here, I was talking about how you can use and leverage business credit and business funding to grow your business and take it further faster. Okay, so that's what I was talking about here. And I was sharing my personal experience as well when I started my business. So if you guys know, in 2021, one of my businesses that I started was a short-term rental business, Airbnb. Thanks for the likes over here on TikTok. Hey, y'all. Hey. I started. Okay, so it is possible to kind of go live on TikTok and YouTube. Bet that's what I'm gonna start doing. I was like, I don't know if I can focus on TikTok and YouTube, but it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. And so I started my short-term rental business by accident, kind of just a girl wanted to make some extra money. If you were here from the beginning, sorry, I'm repeating myself for the people who just came in here, just came in the room. And so I just wanted to make some extra money. I had bought my house early. I was 23. I was not married at the time. I was very single and was doing my thing. Worked at a corporate job. Didn't make a lot of money, maybe 45K, something like that. So your girl was lucky to be, I don't know, God's grace, God's hand is on me. Okay. I was able to somehow afford a house. Okay. And so I was like, I need to make some extra money. I was always a grinder, hustler. How can I make some extra money? Okay, I heard about this Airbnb thing. If you own a house, that's what I thought at the time, that you had to own a house. Actually, let me put this on here. I got an EIN back in. Greetings. Mahalia says, I got an EIN back in 2016, but haven't used it since 2021. Should I just get a new one? Great question. You don't have to. So it depends on the business. Your EIN is tied to your business. Is your business still active? If not, then you probably want to get a new one. But it's nice to have an aging business. Like aging businesses is the game, is the way to go, is a play to go. So if you currently have your business still existing and active in good standing with your Secretary of State, that's usually tied to your EIN, then I would say no. But if you don't even know what's going on with that, you can also try to reactivate your business too. Just reactivate your actual business with Secretary of State. So I hope I answered your question. So I was just a girl who wanted to make some extra money, and I heard about this Airbnb thing, and they were like, "Oh, if you have a house, you can rent out your extra room." I was like, "Okay, bet. It's just me. I have an extra room. I'm just gonna throw this thing on Airbnb." Got a spare mattress. Didn't even have an extra bed in the room. So I was like, "Look, I'm gonna throw this on Airbnb with a spare mattress, and if people book it, they book it. If they don't, they don't. Okay, but yeah, I'm just gonna try." And so I explicitly put it in the description that, hey, you are booking this Airbnb with um, you're going to be sleeping on an air mattress. Okay. And people booked it. But anyway, fast forward, we were eventually able to use business credit, right, to get stuff like linen. Okay. We took out store cards to get stuff like linen, all those things without using all of our own money. To start, we did, but then eventually we figured out, oh, we can just leverage business credits. Okay. And so I was sharing that story, and I was sharing how you hold on, give me 1 second, y'all, because it looks like something is happening over here. Something important. 1 second. Oh, it's nothing important. Okay. I thought it was something important. My nanny was showing me something, but she was sending me like all these things, so I thought something was going on. But anyway, what I was saying was somebody says I'll be coming to Taiwan next March. Next, okay, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. I was talking about how you can leverage. Mahalia says, all plus social media. Yes, Wagwan. Wagwan, big up yourself. Okay. And so I was talking about how you can use business credit, y'all. You can use business credit to hire help, to hire a part-time person, a freelancer, a graphic designer, somebody to do your copywriting. You can use business credit for so much things, but even if you don't need it right now, this is what I want most people to get and to understand, that even if you don't 100% need business funding right now, or you don't see the importance of business credit, it's better to put your business in a position where you are ready. Stay ready, so when that opportunity comes, that time comes, easy peasy, you have it. You have already built that strong business credit profile across the board. Because again, remember, business credit is not just okay, one business credit reporting agency, it's multiple. And a combination of that is like a combined data that goes to like the small business financial exchange that some lenders use, that some lenders pull from. It's like a database of like, your business scores and stuff like that. And not to make things too complicated. And so when you are prepared, if you have a business anyway, it's like, why not? Why not? So that you can leverage other people's money, so that you can eventually leverage other people's time, so that you can take your business further faster and buy your time back. So that's the key here, and that's the message here, is using business credit to buy your time back. Okay. Mahalia says, is Airbnb still profitable? It depends on where. Uh, I know for Oars, especially when we had my first one, so we sold that property last year or something like that, because the property appreciated so high, and anyway, it made sense. I was like, okay. And so, but the rental was still doing well. We didn't sell it because it wasn't doing well. We were always booked. In fact, we still had people miss when we blocked it off. We're trying to like, sell it and everything, which it sold in like 3 days. Crazy with putting it on the market. Um, we had people reaching out to us like, hey, I was trying to book. blah blah blah, is it not available, all those things. We're always booked. It depends on where. You have to, I guess, be strategic with where you have this rental. I am now focused on international real estate, to be honest with y'all. I'm more focused on international Airbnbs, so more on that later, because that's where the market is going, right? In regards to getting back into real estate in the US right now, maybe not so much. If I'm being honest, like it's abroad is where I see it. You know, a lot of people are moving abroad. People go on vacations all the time. Vacation rentals are like, you know, thriving. So my focus is short-term rentals and real estate abroad. So that's my focus. But yeah, I actually have a client right now. I don't know if you guys have seen the interview. I interviewed him. He is making, I interviewed him on YouTube actually. He joined one of my programs, my Airbnb programs and my business credit programs, uh, like a couple years ago, 2 years ago, or something like that. And, you know, he always gives me updates, and he's making really good money on with his short-term rental business, like 10K and beyond that. And now he's getting a partnership with an investor to manage, like, I think like a 8-unit property, stuff like that. So it really all depends. He's in Florida too, actually. He's in Florida. But you can also look into midterm rentals, so not just the short term if you don't really want to do that based on your area. Ashley says that's awesome, right? Yeah, look at your area. Are there hospitals close by you? You can probably do midterm rentals. Again, y'all, if I look kind of sweaty, I'm outside. I'm in Bangkok. It's kind of hot, but thank the Lord it's not that hot today. It's kind of a little bit cool. But look at to see if they have hospitals and stuff like that in the area. And you can also partner with like insurance agencies for people that need placement. There's a lot of different ways to do short-term rental, short-term to mid-size rental. So there's different ways to approach it. So if Airbnb is not really thriving, you can look at platforms. Again, y'all, I have a book, The B&B Boss Basics, how to, let me see if I can drop it in the chat. Feel free to check it out. I'll probably just drop this actually for those of you who probably want to book an accelerator discovery chat, an application chat, if you want to work with me to, you know, build business credit and position your business for 5-figure funding. I'll drop that chat in the description for you guys. But what I was saying was, here you go. Here's the link. Okay, here's the link to if you want to book a chat with me. What was I saying, y'all? Oh my goodness, too much things going on at once. And so, yeah, I teach how to sublease Airbnbs. Again, you can get my book. There's some information on there. Obviously, it's a book, so only so much can go in there. But I also have an in-depth Airbnb course teaching you how to like sign your lease, how to reach out to. We were on business credit, but now we're on Airbnb. It's okay. But teaching you how to like sign your lease, reach out to, you know, apartment complexes, all of those things. So yeah, I have quite a few clients who have gone through my program. Yes, I have a course, and I also do coaching side by side with that if you want that. Okay, but you can also just get the course, and it's very in-depth. It goes through how to automate your process, the right people that you need on your team. Y'all, we were able to run our business internationally and miles away. You know, like my first one was in New Jersey, and then we moved to Texas, and we went back to that property maybe one time in like 3 years, okay, because we implemented the right systems, automation systems, and had the right people and all those things. So those are some of the things that I teach in my course. But if you want a more one-on-one like coaching situation, you can use the link to apply to work with me. That link is mostly my business credit link for those of you guys who want to better position your business for 5-figure funding and build that business credit. You can use that link there. So Mahali was saying, how does the short-term rentals apply to insurance? Um, insurance placement, people who lose their homes because of hurricane, fire, all those things, and insurance companies need houses, temporary housing for people with their big families, their 4 kids, whichever, 3 kids, just a single person. They're not going to use a hotel. They're going to put these people in homes. So, yeah. And so, again, there's a link that you can use to apply to work with me. Ashley was saying international investing, you were saying, is the course to go rather than the US. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I believe right now. International real estate. There's so many countries out here, y'all, outside of the United States of America. Okay, there's so many countries and so many opportunities, investment opportunity. If you look right now, it's mind blowing to me that I'm actually seeing this right now too. Even though I was thinking about this long before, like even 2022, we started a rental in like Mexico, and that one didn't go so well as we thought, right? So I'm not gonna come on here and say, oh, my Mexico rental was doing well, and whichever. That kind of took a twist. We'll talk about that another time. But there's different ways to go about it. And so when I did that, and that, people were reaching out to me who were also Airbnb experts, right? Teaching this thing where like, hey, can you teach how, or people or students how to do this? And now I'm seeing, yes, a lot. If you notice, if you like look at real estate or whichever, you'll see people getting into that space. People who are doing heavy real estate in the US, they are now looking at international markets. There's a thriving market for that. So, anywho, yes. And with business credit, if you're looking to grow your short-term rental business, that is a way to get into real estate, y'all. Did you know that you can technically use business credit to buy property? Like there's strategy around it, how to take that money out, stuff like that, versus doing like a cash advance if you're taking out like a business credit line. There's so many different strategies, y'all, out there. And so fun stuff. Mahalia cleaning crews can be unreliable where? In the US or in Mexico, or where exactly? But yeah, that's why you want to have certain systems back up. You want to get the right people. Yeah, we've had a couple bad experiences, but for the most part, we've been able to have like a solid, consistent crew. So it just depends on who you're hiring. So, and since we're on real estate, since you were asking about short-term rental, I can give examples of how you can use it. Business credit, right? Okay, both. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, they can be um, unreliable. Again, it depends on who you hire, right? So you want to hire someone who is reputable that you can trust, maybe a company, maybe to work with. So it really depends. It really depends. But we've had great success with quite a few cleaners in companies, and I've had a couple of bad apples. But you want to get somebody on your team that will be like consistent with you, that knows your routine, that's connected to your portals, all of those things, that knows when you have a booking automatically. Automation, y'all. That's what I'm telling you. So yeah, implementing the right systems and having the right people on your team is key. So yeah, business credit. Um, Mahalia says, I'm interested in using business credit for property investment. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and you can book a chat with me. Okay. Uh, Basically, this chat is a application chat. So you'll read over what the call is going to be about, and you're basically applying to see if you're the right fit for a program. We'll see where you are right now, what you're struggling with, and where it is that you're trying to go, and we'll take it from there. So yes, you can use business credit to get property as well, you guys. So there's like startup lines of credits, right? For startups, if you're new in business, sometimes that requires you to hyper leverage your personal credit, right? And then you have business credit that you can acquire. You may have to start small depending on what your personal score is. Sometimes you may have to start small with small lines, okay? And uh, and but you can build on that. So not just one line or two cards, but you can have multiple and build an accumulation, right, of that, and build the strength of your business credit profile over time. So that way, I should probably put something up on here so people can know what I'm talking about. Okay, TikTok is asking me to do this little puzzle thing. Let me do it real quick. The same shape. None of these, okay, this are the same shape. Oh, no, I did it wrong. TikTok is always tripping. This has the same, this has the same shape, and this has the same shape. Okay, I got it right. TikTok be tripping, always changing stuff. If you guys are new here on TikTok, double tap the screen, okay? And share the live. Share this live with a friend who's in business, an entrepreneur who's in business. So, did I already put this up here? Okay. So, you get an accumulation of business credit lines, whether from vendors. You can start with a net 30, net 60 vendor accounts that requires only EIN, build that business, that positive business trade lines, business credit cards, business loans, business credit lines, right? There's different types of businesses, and build that positive, those positive scores across the board, the main business credit reporting agencies, right? So that when it's time for you to say, let's say an opportunity comes up for you to take out maybe 10K, maybe that's 20K, maybe 30K, you have that positive business credit profile, right? With excellent scores across the board or good scores across the board. So even if you don't necessarily have the perfect credit score, personal credit score, you can still be eligible for certain funding opportunities, y'all. Okay. So again, when I talk about business credit, I'm talking about like business credit lines, but I'm also talking about the business credit scores in general, like the business credit profile in general. So building your business credit is going to allow you to unlock better funding opportunities, better terms, better all of that. It's going to allow you to unlock funding. I like to say 5-figure funding at least to start out. 5 figures looks like, of course, 10K and above. Um, 10K to like 99,000, right? We help our clients get up to like 100K, but I like to start out with 5K. Get your first 5K. But what does that mean though? What does just getting 5K in funding mean? So what does that look like? Why do you want to get access to business funding, right? To different people, it means different things, right? For you, getting 10K in business funding or 50K in business funding may mean that now you can finally hire that assistant, hire that help that you need in your business so that you don't have to burn yourself out and do everything yourself, y'all. Okay? So you don't have to burn yourself out and do everything else, every single thing yourself. Okay? Mahalia is saying, do you absolutely have to have an LLC to build business credit? Yes. Short answer, yes. I mean, can you possibly take out a business type of loan, maybe as a sole proprietor, without a without and like well, okay, you said LLC. I'm not here to tell you that you need an LLC, right? There's different business structures out there. LLC is one of the simpler ones that most people go with because it's simple, it's easy, it's fast. It separates your personal liabilities from your business liabilities straight away. It's simple. A lot of even major corporations out here that we wouldn't think is just an LLC have LLCs, right? Again, not telling you what business structure to go with. You have partnerships, right? LPs, LLPs. As an LLC, you can also opt into how you want to be taxed, what tax structure you want for your business, which you can do that underneath technically an LLC. So you can have a corporation type of tax structure. And just a quick disclaimer, I am not a CPA, I'm not a tax consultant, I am not a financial advisor. Speak with your own financial advisor and CPA, and they'll be able to tell you the best tax structure for your business, what works best for you, whichever. You do your own research and determine that. But as an LLC, you can choose what tax classification you want to use based on, your earnings, the amount of people that you have in your business, stuff like that. But short answer is yes, I believe you want to have an actual business. Yes. You want to have an actual business formed, set up, structured to build business credit. That's the only right way to do it. If you're positioning your business for growth, and if you're positioning your business for funding and for true success, yes, you want to have a structured business. When you go to open a bank account for your business, because that is a must. I've been on here for about an hour. I'm probably going to give it another 30 minutes, which is a must. Some lenders, do you know that some lenders will not lend to you, will not fund your business because you don't have a business bank account? They will not deposit that money in your personal bank account. It has to go in a registered business bank account. How do you get a business bank account? You need to prove that you have an actual business, right? You need to prove that you have an actual business form. You need to prove that you have your EIN, all those things. Can you go get an EIN and just do a quick DBA, sole proprietorship, where you're operating business as yourself in a sense and not really separate from the entity? Absolutely, you can. Do I recommend that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to separate if you're planning to grow your business, you need to separate yourself from the business. And also lenders and other people, vendors will take you more seriously. So you want to have a separate that's a very long response, but I'm just trying to drill it in that you want your business for. And so that's what we do in our program. By the way, I'm probably getting ready to do another training soon, but that's what we do in our program. We help entrepreneurs properly structure their business, right? Make sure that your business is properly set up, that looks credible to lenders. You want to have a fundable business. Okay, so yes, that's one step. But yeah, that's one of the ways to go. Okay. And also in our program, we partnered with a business branding attorney as well, a business branding attorney. And she has a whole workshop as well within our program that goes over business structure, right? And that you can also consult with her as well, business structure and stuff like that. So we get you funding ready. Okay, we get you positioned for 5-figure funding. We get you where you're launching your business the right way. And even if you already have launched the business, we can help you restructure things so that you are funding ready and build that business credit. Build that business credit. Okay, everybody's business, is different. Type personal credit is different, and so you can get funding depending on where you are personally, like your personal score, but you can also get funding based on where you are business wise, right? There's different ways to acquire funding. You can leverage your personal credit, like I said, but that's like I said, hyper leveraging, where if you have like really excellent personal scores, we help our clients do that too. Get up to like 100K that way, but again, you have to hyper leverage your personal credit. And then you can also go the route of building business credit, which either way, if you plan on even using your personal credit for whatever reason to like start out, if the program is really good and makes sense, it's still going to build your business credit. Those personal credit programs, starter programs, it's still going to report to your business credit, but it's first like getting approved to you don't necessarily have a growing business, so that's why they're leveraging your personal credit. Even if you're going that way, I 100% suggest that you build your business credit. I mean, it's going to open way more doors for you. way more doors, and it's going to give you access to even more funding than what you would even possibly get with your personal credit score. Okay, so that's why I recommend everybody should have a business. Y'all, why am I so passionate about business? Is because for me, I feel like business is a great way to not necessarily have a cap on your income. And yes, I'm not here to tell you, or I'm not here to say that when you have a business, you're always gonna be making more and more and more and more and more and more and more, money, right? Which you absolutely can and will. You may have down seasons, right? Like this month you may make this much, and that month you may not make this much, or this year you may make this. You get what I'm saying, right? But y'all, it's nothing better than being able to be the master of your time. No one can tell you, oh, you can't go on vacation these days because this person has been here longer than you, and so they want to take vacation these days, so they're gonna get it. I'm saying this from experience, okay? When I used to work for a financial institution, and so I would try to, take vacation here, can't take it. Why? Because it's like kind of like the holiday season, and I worked at it for a busy financial institution, and so it's like I was a high performer too, and it's like you can't have two high performers out at the same time. So my vacation time was always denied because I was younger. I started when I was like 19, did it for about 5 years. I was one of the youngest people, and my vacation time will always get denied. I had to take vacation like when I didn't really want to take it, but because like the other senior people weren't really taking it, you know what I mean? When you have a business, you are the master of your time. Nobody can tell you that. Oh, especially depends on how you set up your business, right? Nobody can tell you, oh no, you can't take 2 weeks. Can't take a month off to Bali, right? I was able to do that, y'all, when after I did that financial thing, I became a flight attendant. Some of you guys know my journey and my story if you've been following me. And then I was a flight attendant for about 4 years or so. And then I decided that, okay, it was no longer for me. And God was calling me out of that to pursue business long term. And so that I can have a uh, certain presence in my home, right? And yeah, felt called and led out of that. And you know what? Right after I quit, hubby and I decided to take a quick sabbatical. Quick sabbatical. So we took a month-long trip to Southeast Asia in 2022. We went to Bali, Indonesia for about a month, and then we came to Thailand and fell in love with the place and all of that. And so I was able to do that because of business as well, right? And so that's why I'm so passionate about business, y'all, especially for women. Like, you don't have to be grinding and hustle. Like, I just shared a video on my YouTube channel about the fact that I was talking about what is, can I say that on TikTok? Because sometimes they censor everything, but what is excellence, right? What is Black excellence without the hustle? We talk about hustling all the time and Black excellence, all these things. But can you actually create a thriving business and have a fulfilling life without feeling like you're grinding all the time? And the point of that video was not to say, oh girl, yes, soft life. We hear the term soft life era all the time and having this soft life all the time. And if you guys are on TikTok, be sure to double tap the screen, okay? And share the live, or act like you're gonna share it. Just hit the share button. We hear about soft life and all these things all the time. And I know it may confuse people because you're like, okay, where the money's gonna come from? How am I gonna live this soft life if I'm not grinding and making money? There is a way to position your business in a way that you are not grinding 24/7. Okay. And I understand that in like the startup phase, there may not be balance. I get it, right? Because you are probably doing everything. You're probably starting out everything. And so that's why I like to say you want to kind of start your business with the end in mind. Start your business with the end in mind. So, what does your business look like 5 years from now? Do you plan on still doing everything yourself? Like all the things? Like you do whatever you want to do. Like I still have fun doing certain things. Like I used to hire people a lot to do my like video editing and stuff like that. But a lot of times I had to keep going back and forth. So I just do my video editing myself. It's not the perfect, but I don't mind doing it. But um, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Start doing those things now. Start working on those things now. Like start looking at who you want on your team, like that assistant, that person that's helping you with the graphics, that person who's helping you with marketing, that person, that independent contractor. Start with the end in mind. Start now and not wait until you get to this place, or not wait until you make 100,000. How about start with the first 5,000 you make, or the first $10,000 that you make in business to start hiring? Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to blow your mind that that small investment that you make now, especially when you have like an actual strategy, like, okay, this person's going to help me with this so that I can focus on this. I can focus on the thing that's actually going to make me money in this business, to focus on my area of genius, right? To focus on my vision for the company, all of these things. And then that's how I'm going to grow my business. So especially when you have an actual plan, where do you see your business? Start with that end in mind, and start there. And so Mahalia says, I like that approach. Yes, it's going to free up so much off your time. You're going to thank yourself, because in the beginning stage of the business, as you're growing your business, when you find yourself doing everything, what ends up happening, and I'm just speaking from experience as well, speaking from my personal experience, but speaking from what I hear other entrepreneurs and business owners say as well, right? They share their experience as well. And personally, you're doing everything that the little, not that they don't matter, it matters, but the little menial tasks you're spending doing all these little things, how to do this, when you could be focused on money generating activities, okay? Money generating activities, or income producing assets. Oh yes, IPAs, that's what they call it. IPAs, income producing activities. So that's why you want to start with the end in mind. And you can do that. You can start with the end in mind with business funding, with business credit. Again, using business credit as a tool and not a trap, y'all. Use it as a tool and not a trap. Use it with a plan. Use it with the plan and the intention of, okay, I have this funding, I have this business credit, I can use this to hire this person to help me with my marketing, to do some graphics so that I generate more clients, more income. And then I can use that extra income that I got from my business to pay back, okay? Or put down money on back on this business credit card. And you repeat the process, and you can repeat this process with any business. You can repeat this process with any and every business, you guys. So it's like once you get the concept once, it's like such an invaluable concept, and like life-changing concept, right? Once you get it and you figured out, okay, this is how I build the healthy business credit profile, this is how I position my business for funding so I look attractive to lenders, and this is how I acquire these fundings. Guess what? You can do that over and over and over with the same business, right? Or keep building on that same business, or you can do it with other businesses that you start. Somebody mentioned earlier something about like real estate using business credit. You can absolutely use business credit to purchase real estate, y'all. Even without using like cash advances, you can use it based on taking out credit cards and then liquidating, if you have the right strategy, right? You don't want to do that if you don't, if the math ain't mathing, okay? The ROIs, the cap rates. This is not a real estate class, so I won't get into that too much, right? But your cap rates, your ROIs, does it make sense? So when you use this business credit stuff, okay? Mahalia says, yes, start building it up ASAP. Absolutely. Don't wait until you need $15,000 or $20,000 for your business. Start building business credit now. Again, it's for the long haul. Your business credit, you can imagine you start now, and in 5 years, you have solid, healthy business credit you've been building for 5 years. And now you need $50,000. But somehow your personal credit is not doing like the best. A lender will be able to look at that and say, oh, you've been building business credit for 5 years, you've been paying stuff on time, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So there's different ways to go about it. There's different funding strategies out there, y'all. There's community development, people who don't really care about your personal score. So even if you have a 500 credit score, you can look into community lenders as well. They are going to be looking at a business plan, though. You're going to need a solid business plan. Actually, I was able to have a financial expert that has worked with companies like Chase, Wells Fargo, and other companies help me create an in-depth business plan template. You guys can check that out. If you're on TikTok, it's in the link in my bio, and you will see that business plan template. It's very in-depth. It's like 2 different types that you can choose from, but it also has like independent contractor agreements if you plan on hiring independent contractors, pitches for investors if you want to pitch to investors, email pitches, marketing analysis. Like, you will not find this business plan anywhere. And this business plan has been helping entrepreneurs for the past few years now. Since 2022 is when I started, when we created this, 2022. And it already has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs, with their business plans. So it's not something that we did yesterday. Even if we did it yesterday, I mean, it was still done right. Okay. And so it's been helping entrepreneurs, with funding. And yeah, just it's not the type of business plan that you're going to find anywhere else just because of what we've added to it. Okay. The investors also examples of famous pitch decks. So if you plan on like pitching to investors and stuff like that. But again, this is something that you can use to apply to certain CDFIs or community lenders. Okay. And and in my program we help you with all of that too. So feel free to check that out if you don't have a business plan yet, because it's good to be ready, right? Stay ready, just in case, because there's also some grant programs, y'all, that will require you to have a business plan and an actual business. So we talked about that. Somebody was asking, Mahalia was asking earlier, if you want to have an actual business structured. Yes, because some grant programs, they will not fund your business if you don't have an actual business on paper. And some of those grant programs, Mahalia was asking if it's only on TikTok. No, it's actually in the link that let me send the link again. So there's the link. I sent that. It's in and if you guys are watching the replay over on YouTube, it will be the link in my bio. It will say Shy Bibia, my stands for Shy Bibia. You'll get my Move Abroad resources as well as where to book a chat with me if you're ready to build your business credit. And you also get the guide to the toolkit. The business credit, the business, what am I saying, y'all? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, the business plan, the in-depth business plan toolkit. So there's the link. So you want to stay ready, just in case you never know. Yeah, so there are some grant programs out there, and if you guys are on my email list, if you're not, you should be. I always share gems on there sometimes and just give you guys updates and tips and stuff like that. And also whenever sometimes there's like grant opportunities, sometimes I will share it, sometimes send it to my email list. And there's some grant programs. There's some grant programs that they require a business plan. And with the business plan template, the whole reason for it being a template is so that it's straightforward. It tells you basically what to put there. It's literally plug and play. It just tells you what to put there, And it has all the extra like things. You get it in like a zip file. You get like all your stuff. So it's amazing. So yeah, you guys, start that business, okay? Start that business. I'm probably gonna get off of here in like 10, 15 more minutes, but I just want to close out with these things. And if you guys have questions as well, feel free to drop them in the chat. But start that business, you guys. Not only does it help you with like financial stability and flexibility, because with a job, it's never really promised. Even though I believe that having a job is it's a great stepping stool for what's to come. You can use your job to save money to start that business, right? You can do that to pay off debt to whichever. But what's the end goal so that you can live a life of more like freedom and flexibility, right? So yeah, let me see if somebody said something here. Yeah, and so I love business, you guys. You're welcome, Mahalia. I love business, you guys, and the concept of business because, like I said before, I was saying this, but I think I went off track because that happens sometimes. I love it's kind of like a game to me, right? The flexibility of, okay, what you can make, how much you can make, all of these things. It may not be perfect all the time. We all know that. Businesses, your income, your revenue can go up, can go down sometimes. But it's like you're like the master of your ship, of your time, okay? If you want to take a month trip, I was talking about that, you can. If you want to, you don't think you can show up this week, you can, if you have implemented the right systems and the right tools with the right people, like I said before. And Business Credit can help you implement those right systems, those right tools, and unlock funding so that you can buy your time back. That's the end goal here, to be able to buy your time back. Okay. In 2022, when I started consulting as well, when I started mostly like doing consulting work, when I was growing my business and I had just quit my job as well, I kind of like had no choice because I'm like, man, this business is growing a lot. It's really growing, and I wanted to quit for an entire year anyway. So I think that was like God's confirmation, like, okay, girl, you can quit now. And I was mind blown. I invested in like coaching as well because I believe in investing in coaching, and so I invested that year in like 2 different programs that were like 5 figures, y'all. 5-figure coaching programs. Were they helpful? Yes. Okay. Especially the first one that I did. But it really helped me to see my value as an expert in my field, as a business coach, as a business funding strategist, who helps people build their business credit and position their business for 5-figure funding. And so it really helped me master my message and be clear about like what I'm offering and stuff like that. And you guys, with me investing that into that coaching program, I learned so much that I was able to finally launch my coaching program, because that was a coaching program, right? How to master my message as a consultant and coach. And so I was able to do that. And that year I was able to sell my worth. And I was mind blown when one of the first or second, clients that I got, I was like, oh my gosh. And it would have taken me this and this much time at work. It would have taken me these many hours of flying, of having to sign into work 1 hour early that I'm not getting paid for, of me having to help people board and do boarding. Hi, hello, welcome aboard. Hi, welcome aboard. How many of that? What I have to do is for half an hour that I was not getting paid for, because no, flight attendants don't get paid for boarding. Some people don't know that. So when you see those flight attendants on the plane, don't bother them about your bags. They don't care about your bags, okay? They just want to board this flight so that this door can be closed so that they can get paid, okay? Because we get paid, or they get paid. I'm no longer one, but when the door closes, okay? So don't be bothering those flight attendants about you want this, you want snacks. Girl, wait until the door closes at least, okay? If it's not an emergency, the water can wait, the snack can wait. Okay, all right. I'm speaking up for my people. And so, no, they don't get paid until that door closes, y'all. And so I said that, well, as of, I think, 2023, one of the major airlines, the airline that I was with, I think they're the only ones now that finally introduced, y'all, 2023. How long have people been flying for? How many years have people been flying for? 2023, okay? Mahalia said that's free labor. Absolutely. I was volunteering my time, okay? I was volunteering my time. All the flight attendants up in the air were volunteering their time, basically. Up until 2023 is when that major airline, I won't say any names on here because I don't want to put myself in trouble and I don't want to be wrong, okay? But as far as I know, it was a big deal because that airline, I think the airline that I was with, if you know, you know, okay, if you've been following me, decided that, okay, we're going to start paying for boarding now. It's not the full hour. It's still not the full hourly pay. It's half of that. So you're getting half of what you would typically get paid for boarding. Finally, they did something. But when I was just started, I was just excited. I was like, okay, I make this much per hour. It's not bad. You know, it's pretty good. Like, you know, the average desk job is not going to pay me this much per hour. But then it's kind of like they get you back with that signing in 1 hour early, not getting paid for that, not getting paid for boarding, not getting paid for in between time. Like when you're in between flights, when the flight, you know, flight landed, people deplaned, you're not getting paid for that time that you're waiting for the next flight to like board. And it's a lot of gray areas. That's not why I'm here, y'all. That's not why I'm here. But I just wanted to vent a little bit about that. So there are some gray areas with that. So you know what I mean? And so I would say, man, I just closed this client, made this much money. It would have taken me this much time of flying and days away from home, being home and doing the things that I want to do to make this money. So that's when my eyes opened and was like, wow, why was I working again? Why was I working again? But no, I had a great time with what I did. I loved what I did to some extent. And it opened great doors for me. I met some incredible people. So, but with anything that you're doing right now, I'm saying this to say, with anything that you're doing right now, any business that you are currently in, or any job that you're doing, have a plan of action. Yes, you work at 9 to 5, but you can build your business 5 to 9. Work that 9 to 5 and build your business 5 to 9. Those little things that you are doing. Mahalia says flashbacks. Yes, girl, flashbacks. So I think sometimes I miss the whole flight life. I'm like, that was cool. That was fun. I was here or there. But then I had to force myself to remember all the things that I did not like about flying. All the things that I did not like. And once I start remembering those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things that I did not, I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's okay, girl. It's okay. It took me a while to get here. Like, I grieved my job, y'all. Even though I gave it up, it wasn't snatched from me. I gave it up, but I still grieved it because it was such a part of my life. It was such a lifestyle, right? It was such a lifestyle kind of thing. It's not your 9 to 5. I go, you clock in, you see the same people, you're out, you know, you go home. It was a lifestyle. Like, I lived in a suitcase. Like, I was traveling, you know, all over the world and never know what I'm going to expect today. It was an interesting life. It's an interesting, unique life, and you see things at a different perspective. And so I grieved it, you know. And so whenever I am like, maybe I miss it, I'm like, girl, remember when? Like, actually, no. Actually, no. You're right. I don't miss it. But anyway, so use your job right now as a stepping stool. And I want to just leave with this, y'all, because, you know, y'all, I can talk, right? I want to just leave you with this. Think about what you're getting paid in your job to do right now. if you're thinking that you don't have a business idea, how do you build business credit, but you have no business idea, you have no business yet? First of all, we can help you with that too, right? I can help you with that, getting clarity on what you're doing. But if you don't yet have a business idea, you don't have a business launch, ask yourself what it is that your job is paying you to do right now. What is your job paying you to do? What expertise do you have at work? Do you have a job? Do people come to you for a certain thing? Are you good at a certain thing? What it is that you're good at? What are you getting paid to do? And you can write those things down, and you can see which one is the right fit for you, which one is probably the most profitable, which one is the thing that makes the most sense if you're somebody who wants to travel or move abroad or whichever. What's the thing that you can take with you abroad? Because you can technically have like a brick and mortar type of business somewhat, but if you set it up the right way and have the right people, you can run it from abroad technically. But there are so many ways to run a business remotely, even if you have a business that's like a service-based business. You can have independent contractor. I know people with cleaning businesses. You can do commercial cleaning, do the marketing right, have the business set up, people be ringing off your phone. You implement the right systems, you have people answering the phone, all of these things. Girl. Mahalia says, I need business ideas. Yep, we can help you with that too. And so you have someone going out there to do the cleaning, and you don't have to do the cleaning. You charge a set fee to the clients we're doing the cleaning for, commercial, residential, whichever. Your cleaner goes out there and you either pay them hourly or they get a fraction of what you're charging the client. That's a service-based business that you can run remotely if you want to do that. So yeah, even a service-based business you can run remotely, okay? It doesn't have to be digital marketing. It doesn't have to be affiliate marketing. It doesn't have to be YouTube, TikTok, even though, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You guys are watching me on YouTube, and YouTube was also a big break for me as well. I was able to attract a lot of like clients and stuff like that on YouTube. So I believe in leveraging platforms as well. But I'm just saying, you guys, it does not have to be what you are seeing or hearing that a lot of people are doing. It does not have to be that. You can think outside the box, right? And start that thing. If you guys are seeing me, look over here. If you're just joining, I'm also on YouTube. But start that thing, y'all. Start that business. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. It's never going to be the right time. Nobody's going to come and save you. Do it afraid. Do it alone. Do it when people don't really understand. People who have never done what you're trying to do will discourage you. People who have never done what you are trying to do will always discourage you because they don't get it. They've never done it. So no, they don't see the vision. No, they can't help you. They don't see the vision, and it's not for them to see. It's your vision that God gave to you. Is not for them to see. Okay, so they won't get it. Go around like-minded people. Get a coach. Get a mentor. Get a Nikki B said, hey, Nikki B, you're late, but you can definitely catch the replay because we're like an hour and a half in this live. But hey, girl, hey, thanks for joining. Okay. Think about. I'm gonna probably just give a full recap before as well, just let you know what we're talking about. Surround yourself with like-minded people. I'm surprised that I'm in this heat for so long. It's not that hot today though. Anyway, surround yourself with like-minded people, a coach, mentor, whosoever, people that are entrepreneurs, that are doing the thing that you want to do. Okay? Because people who have never done it are never gonna get it. And a lot of times we waste our time trying to convince people, try to prove to people that this is gonna work out, blah, 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 blah. It's a waste of energy, I promise you. Just do your thing, okay? Do your thing and start that business, because starting a business, I'm telling you guys, is life-changing. And I'm sure most entrepreneurs who are still in business today will tell you that. And I said this before, yes, you may not have the best seasons every season, but the beautiful thing about business is that you figure out what works and you figure out what doesn't. And when you keep going, it's only gonna grow, and you're only gonna elevate your business from there, right? If you're just joining, by the way, I was talking about how you can use business credit to unlock business funding so that you can buy your time back. So that you can buy your time back, right? And I was giving examples of different ways that you can use business credit at a high level because I gave specific examples way earlier in the live. So if you're on YouTube, you can probably catch that in the beginning. But I was at a high level, I will say how you can use business credit to leverage your business credit to unlock funding and grow your business is by you're building business. You build the business credit, right? You build the positive business credit across the board, across all the major credit reporting agencies, and you build that over time. You continue to build it for the lifetime of the business, okay? But you can build it as fast as 90, 120 days, 180 days. When I say build it, I mean positive scores across the board. You can leverage other people's money, meaning lenders, other people's money, to then be able to leverage other people's time. So you're using other people's money to leverage other people's time and buy your time back. It doesn't matter if you have a service-based business. It doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar business, right? You can be able to hire help, hire that person for the marketing, or put money into marketing, hire an independent contractor, a part-time assistant. Maybe you're a photographer. I was giving that example earlier for those of you who just joined. And you want to up your photography game some. Maybe you want a cargo van. Maybe you want to go into the logistics industry, right? We have a lot of through the brokerage side of my business. We have a lot of people in the trucking industry and stuff like that. And let's say you want a new equipment, you can use business credit, you guys, to get no personal guarantee funding on an equipment. Or in other words, you can leverage your business credit, right? Take out a loan in your EIN only, name only. If you have like built excellent, business credit across the board, usually commercial auto dealers like to see a certain amount of like trade lines, for a certain amount of time, and then you'll be able to leverage that. You can also leverage your personal credit as well and kind of personally guarantee it. But I'm just showing you the possibility with business credit and, having that, building it robustly, right? And imagine you be able to take out a cargo van or whichever, or take out a credit line or business credit line, whichever, solely in your business, so that you can get that photography equipment. Hypothetically, I'm just giving an example, so that you can up your photography game, right? Maybe you didn't offer portraits before, but now you can offer portraits or video or whatever, because you were able to use business credit instead of your own money. Would you rather use your own money? Let's say the equipment costs $5,000. Would you rather use the $5,000 in your bank account, $5,000 on a personal credit card that maybe you end up maxing out? I don't know, maybe you have a $7,000 credit line. Or do you rather use business credit, where it's not necessarily going to it doesn't affect you? Maxing stuff out on your business credit doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter. It's not like personal credit, okay? Unless you have a business credit line or a business credit card that also reports on your personal credit, which there are those, okay? But which one would you rather? Most people will go for the latter, right? Most people will go for the latter. And did I put this on here already? Yeah, most people will go for the latter and prefer leverage business credit. So that's what I was talking about earlier, okay? How you can use business credit to leverage your time. Or how you can leverage business credit, I should say. So yes, if you're just joining, drop a hey in the chat and feel free to ask your question. So yeah, you guys, but all in all, what's the point of business credit and who needs it? Entrepreneurs, business owners. So if you plan on having a business, if you plan on growing a business, definitely consider it. And also, a couple people were asking earlier. So if you want to book a chat with me, it will be more of an application accelerator chat or application discovery chat to see if you're a good fit for a program, and if you are someone who's ready to really grow your business and take it further faster, build that business credit so you can unlock funding and buy your time back, have that time freedom, flexibility of being able to hire help and do all those things in your business, you can book that chat. And I'll drop the link again in the show notes and in the description. And then, yeah. All right. So Nikki B says, okay, thank you. At work, looking forward to the replay. I need to learn about this. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So, you guys, if you've been thinking about starting that business, start that biz. Okay. Start that business. It can be life changing. You never know what's on the other side. Your mind may just be blown. And I believe that God has called most people to entrepreneurship. Like, it doesn't matter if you feel like you're not skilled. I feel like everybody has a skill and talent. Even in the Bible talks about entrepreneurship and, certain women in the Bible having like help, right? We're not meant to do every single thing by ourselves. But like I said, once you get the concept of not just how to leverage business funding and using it as a tool and not a trap, again, using it as a tool and not a trap, using it as a tool and not a trap, with a plan. You want to use business credit with an actual plan of how you're going to actually make money, right? And so once you get that concept of how you can use it to leverage other people's time so that you don't have to do everything in your business, it's game changer. It's game changer. You're going to be able to take your business so much further, so much faster. Uh, so yeah, this was good, y'all. If this was good, let me know over here on TikTok. Double chat the screen. And I feel like I have so much more to say, but I'm probably going to leave it for the next live because we've been on here for like an hour 40. So yeah, I'm probably going to end it here. So if you guys don't have any questions on YouTube or on TikTok, I'm out. This was fun, and I'll probably do this again maybe sometime next week. All right, y'all. So until next time, beautiful people. Again, it's your girl Shy Bivia. It was an absolute pleasure. I feel like something is coming to my mind that I need to say, but I think that's it. I think that's it, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, you guys. So for those of you who have joined me on here, you've been, you've been able to stay tuned for the whole time. Thank you. It's nice having you. If you weren't able to stay tuned for the whole time, that's okay too. It's super late. Like, I don't know what I expected. It's super late over there. I know it's like 1 a.m. Eastern, 12 a.m. Central. So it's like right in the middle of the day where I am. But with the whole 12-hour time difference, 13-hour time difference, y'all, it's never really going to be like perfect, right? Perfect timing. So, but this was fun. Thanks for joining me, y'all. And I'll see you guys again. I definitely have to do this again. I actually like coming live. Once I'm finally live, I enjoy it so much. But then it's like getting my mental space ready to come live. It's like, do I want to go live? But this was fun. I'm happy that I was here. So, thanks for joining, y'all. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. You're welcome, y'all. Bye bye.